Good evening. Welcome to Mighty Ox Trading. Monday evening trading. Hope everyone had a good weekend. It's been another wild day on the Nasdaq after a while. A wild week on the markets. After a while, let's try that again. It's been another wild day on the markets after a wild week last week on the markets. There we go. We can see today, Nasdaq. Let's me go to the 5-minute chart first. We can see the Nasdaq for the prior session that ended this afternoon. Nasdaq had an amazing over 500 point range. It hit a high here just before the European session opened and dropped to a low here mid-morning. Came up and then came almost all the way back up. So this was a tremendous move. It, like I said, dropped over 500 points in 7 hours and then rebounded from the low was looks like 152, and it rebounded by the time it closed all the way up to 623. That's just wild. That's a lot of money to be made if you could have rode that at all. Right now we're kind of sideways, although we did come down some. Came down here, pulled back a little bit, and then down. We are seeing some momentum. We're already seeing, looks like we have a high here of 15,642. And looks like the low of this session is 16,595. So we're already about a 50-point range, heading back upwards here. You can see here, if you're a normal viewer, there's a new indicator at the bottom of my charts that I'm trying out. It's RSI, and I was never a big fan of the regular RSI indicator. But the RSI has its own Bollinger Bands, which is interesting. And I have the Bollinger Band set for 2.5 standard deviation. And I find that if the RSI line hits the bands, it has a very good chance of the price of bouncing. And if it breaks the bands and breaks one of the top or the bottom of the RSI, whatever you call this, then there's a very good chance, very, very good chance of price action moving the other way. So I'm trying it out. I'm not sure how good it is. I did some sim trading on it last night, but I didn't do well with it, but I would think I was doing it wrong, so I'll be adjusting more. I'm still going to follow my main indicators here, but this might be able to get me in the moves a little quicker once I get it down, or it might be able to get me out of moves before it pulls back heavily. We'll see. Here's gold today. Gold sitting as a signal now, as a matter of fact. Buy signal and upward trending bands. Not interested right now. You have a good evening, Jay. Get some sleep. Let's talk tomorrow. You can tell me what you think of this RSI thing I sent you info about on Discord. Gold today. That's an interesting candle right there. Look at that. I'm not sure how I missed that. But wonder what happened there. A little bit after 7 o'clock last night, gold just dropped out of nowhere and rebounded right away, all in the same minute. It dropped like 5 points and came all the way back. That was actually the low of the day, it looks like. So ended up with about a 13-point range. Gold's still wanting attention. Hey Lennox, how you doing? How was your weekend? Crude oil. I'll show you more of this indicator I'm trying out. Why why it seems like it might be cool. Like right here. See this right here where this top. Now, if I was viewing this chart, if I was in this trade live, yeah, I would see it hit the Bollinger Band. But you see how it's curling up, and oftentimes you'll see it hit the bands as it's going up. But you see here how it hit it's the Bollinger Band on the RSI down here. I would have waited this first candle to see this pullback down here, and that would have told me there's a good chance that that's where we're reversing. Hey Jay, I understand. Obviously studying is way more important. So just don't burn yourself out, man. Put trading on the back burner for now if you need to. I understand. It's no biggie. Uh, Things are going all right, Linux. Took a loss today overall, but that was because of two stupid trades, and also because one of my good trades I accidentally did on Sim. So it was like down 143 today, but nothing critical. Here's another good example. See here, where I put this circle, this red circle. It pierced the the top. It pierced the band. At the same time, it pierced the third band on price action. Now this happened actually at open today. So this is a good indication that even at the open, where you're often afraid to get in, a pierce of the band on this indicator and a pierce of the third band, that this was going to reverse. Another example here. See how it just touches right there, that third band, which was, if I move this out of the way, this candle right here. Can I make that bigger? There. That candle right there. And then it came down. So I think this indicator definitely has some potential to help maybe get in trades a little bit earlier vent some the signals at times, or even get in trades that are like these pullbacks here. You can see here, it hit here, came back up, and this is basically the candle I would have got in at to ride up for a few points. Okay, break even. Hey, green is green. The two trade I lost two trades. Yeah, I didn't take many trades. I was sim trading last night with this new indicator, and I took one trade that was ill-advised on crude, and then I took another trade today that was ill-advised on copper. Me and copper are still fighting. So honestly, it was two trades that were stupid to take, and so yeah. We're about 3 minutes from the top of the hour, so we'll start watching volatility. We'll see if this indicator ends up being anything good. So I've never been a big RSI guy, but testing it over the weekend seemed to give me some pretty good results. But thing is, when you're testing something not live, it's very easy to say, yeah, I would jump in there or I'll jump in there, versus making that decision as it's actually happening. Doing good, Walt. How are you doing tonight? Uh, I was down today by about $143. Two trades. I made two trades that I should have never entered, and I won on one, and I won on the second one that I actually traded on sim instead of regular, the gauntlet. So try to test out a new indicator to complement my other signals here. Yeah, I should have. I was kind of like, I mean, I'm an idiot for missing these big moves, and I keep saying that. I tend to tell myself that I'm gonna catch one of these big moves, and that there's big moves are gonna keep happening. But yeah, I should have. The problem with me relying on these signals too much is, if when you're on with me in the morning, I very rarely play the open. So the signal fired 2 minutes after the open, and then never fired again until it reversed. And I was already starting to work here, so I really wasn't paying as much attention at this time. So, all these signals have been great. But because I relied too much on these signals, I never got back, never jumped in. And once it starts going down, you always worry, well, this is going to be where it's going to reverse. I'm chasing. But obviously I could have got in any time over that whole like hour and a half. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm not worried about it. It's just the only thing I want to get this done. Like I feel like so much progress in my life could happen if I can just get this done. So, and then I mean, I couldn't believe it. Yeah, I wasn't really paying as much, attention in the late morning, afternoon. The fact that Nasdaq came all the way back, or just about all the way back, it was amazing. So buy signal here on gold coming up hard. Uh, wow, 13 ticks on that 1 minute candle right here at the top of the hour. And Q giving us a short signal, but coming down into the upper bands. Are coming down into the lower bands that are uptrending. Put it that way. Oh wow, that takes guts to hold down 100 points. I don't think I could do. I mean, uh, not sure I could do that. But yet, you figure it's gonna bounce at some point. But 'cause there was a couple days last week. I think I even said one of those streams, well, it's gonna bounce here at some point. It never really bounced. Okay. Yeah, single micro, 100 points though, so you're down like $200. Yeah, it's not horrible at all. Kind of hold and hope on that. Yeah, it's hard to really, look where, figure out where it's gonna bounce. So that's one thing. I mean, that's why I'm trying to, also look at some other indicators, like I've been saying. That's sort of like you look at it and think, this might be the bounce. Honestly, if I had just looked at the buys and sells today, I could have made excellent. I mean, even here where it was choppy. So here, I mean, I would never take this. Here, you had downtrending SMA line, downtrending bands. But if I had, that was an 18-point candle. So that was a winner. This was a winner. This first candle was 20 points down. That was a winner. Obviously, that was a long winner. This was obviously a long, long winner. This was a winner. Well, this was the loser. That would have been an automatic loser. It's like the only one. That would have won. If you see here at the bottom of my chart here, this is an RSI, but an RSI with its own Bollinger Band. So I'm kind of looking at that as not only the normal RSI 70/30, but also watching the line of the RSI as it goes on the bands. So like, I mean, right here, this confirmation that it was at the top of the RSI Bollinger, as well as the top of hitting the third band on the regular, would have told me this buy signal was bad. And this isn't just because, I mean, sometimes, things kind of keep crawling up the bands. I was actually pointing out a couple others here that I actually circled. Like here, you see here how this came up. Let's see if I can make that circle bigger. Oop, oop, there. You see how this came up in like this mountain and pulled back, kind of like here. So this is a good idea that this was going to reverse right here. Wait for your confirmation candle, then get in on that next candle. And here, this was the open. Now, I don't normally play the open, but this is the opening candle. Shows that it comes up, it breaks that Bollinger Band on the RSI, and reverses, just like it broke the third band. So it's a confirmation. I set it at 2.5 standard deviations down here. So, and I've been noticing, I looked at a lot of testing over the weekend that, if it touches the band, it very often reverses. If you, just like here, I didn't mark this one, but here at 850, comes up, meets that Bollinger Band on the RSI and reverses, which is this move right here. Right here is 850. Next candle it pops up a little bit more, is red, and then starts coming back down. So this could have been right here, would have been an excellent entry without having to utilize that, that super trend signal to get back in. It oftentimes can tell you, let me expand this a little bit, where it's even in a trend where it's going to pull back. You see here, this little peak here right at 10:12 my time, just about hit the band. And that's here. This is that last green candle before. I mean, this isn't a huge blow. I mean, and actually, it was a 266 down to 241. So it was a 25-point pullback. And so that kind of, I would have waited if I was playing this. I mean, I'm not even sure I would play reversals like that. But if I was really into scalping and really paying attention just to one chart, I would have waited for the one rig confirmation, and I would have shot for 5 or 10 points because you're going against the trend. So you don't want to shoot for 100 points or 50 or whatever, but 5 or 10 on these pullbacks. Just like here, I noticed that. If you notice here, this is the SMA line for these Bollinger Bands, for the Bollinger Bands and the RSI. You see how it touched the very, very top line here, the 70 on the 70-30 range on RSI. If you're familiar with RSI, I believe everyone's probably familiar with RSI. Once it broke down through, that was almost a guaranteed indication, since it was already so high, that you're going to head down. And that would have got me, it broke through at 10:30, so 10:31 was here. Wait, one more confirmation candle here, and would have got me in 4 candles earlier than this short signal, which is an extra 307 to 285. That's an extra 22 points. Again, right here is another, came up, peaked, just as it was hitting there, pulled back. It's just getting used to trading it as it's happening that I need to, get better at. I mean, it doesn't always work. Obviously it peaked up out of the band down here at 1836 my time, 1936, which is here. Now it did pull back by 609 to 7 points. So now, if you're scalping for 5 points, that would have worked. But then it went up. So you don't want to stay in, a trade like that. especially since this is a normal reversal, pattern that's gonna go. It may be considered an ABCD pattern, but I think it definitely has potential to tell me where trends are going to end, and or where trends are going to pull back, and potential to get into trades a little bit earlier. But we shall see. Crude oil gave me a signal while I was talking, but crude oil looks, well, kind of ugly. You can see here, matter of fact, gold here, I wasn't, obviously wasn't paying attention. See, gold came down here, made this nice move down. Off this signal, we could have got, about a point and a half. You can see here, not only did the purple line go below the 30 line, but it also just slightly pierced that Bollinger Band. That was a good indication of a reversal. Now, in this case, we also got the buy signal at the same time. So either way, I would have got in on this candle, but it's definitely a good confirmation. And since then, it's gone 16 ticks. So now we wait. Here's actually another good example. And I talked about that yellow line hits up here. You can see here when the UltraBond purple line got below the yellow line. You almost knew it was going to go down. 1832, so here. Now, if I got in here, 26, it did reverse up to 28, so pulled back by 2 ticks, and then from 26 went all the way down to 18, so it's an 8 tick win. But, I mean, it didn't give me an obvious reversal for this buy signal. I would have been hesitant to take that buy signal here. Seeing it break above its SMA line here could have gave me more confidence in getting in, let's say, here, or even here. Since then, it's gone 8 ticks. So, I'm just looking for, ways to maybe be more confident or figure out I know last week I believe we were talking about, how do you know when to get out of a trade? Well, that could be, some help there, I think. Maybe. We're actually seeing an interesting example here. We didn't break the band, but here on the Nasdaq, we didn't break the band, but we did break the 30 of the RSI with this move down, and it came back up and popping up pretty nicely. Wow, a lot of signals all of a sudden. So even if I had waited for this candle, which was a big 10-point candle, it will be a good indication to jump in here for maybe a 4 or 5 point scalp. It's gone up on this candle 7 points, so 5 points. You're going against the trend, so you don't want to go for too big of a profit target, but be a nice against the trend trade based off of this bounce down below the 30 of the RSI. At least that's the theory. Like I said, I haven't really traded it successfully yet, but that's the goal. So as I was saying, we are getting buy signals here on the ES and the NQ. It's coming up to an SMA line. We're gonna wait to see if we get some bounces there. Some crude oil, where are we? Oh, is this there? Crude oil also above its SMA. Something a long signal, but downtrending bands. Russell doing the same. All of a sudden getting some action here. UltraBond sending a short signal. Natural gas. We don't pay much attention to natural gas this time of night, honestly. Now crude oil did come up through that SMA, and it's continuing. Try to bend the bands. So I got a vortex since that signal. Looks like it might be wanting to try and go up more. Now it's rolling. Same thing here. The Nasdaq and the ES. So, let's say I had taken this off this bounce. This bounce was this candle. Would have waited for the confirmation here. Got in here. Let's say I went in with 2 contracts. Shot for 5 on one to guarantee $100 in profit. Then let the other run. I probably would have let it run to the SMA line. So at that point, that's 03 to 15. So that's a 12 points. So maybe we get out at 10 points. 15-point winner on 2 contracts. $300. Set the stop loss. I don't know. That's the part I struggle with. I don't know where I would set the stop loss. Because if I set AL, I'm setting it for 5, then I'm only going to be doing 1-to-1. But, I don't know. That's something else I need to work out. And I will. NASDAQ bounced off the SMA line. Kind of a perfect bounce there. UltraBond looks like it wants to continue heading up. It's been in an uptrend this evening. Oops. Let's try the right chart. See, it's been in an uptrend here. Pulled back, continued the uptrend. This seems to be just a slight pullback. Continuing to head up, maybe. pulling back to its SMA. Kind of sideways now in the indices. Gold squeezing. This copper signal would have been good. 20 ticks down so far, albeit in a choppy fashion. Gold looks like it's staying above its SMA. Looks like it's continuing to head up here. Maybe this is out of the squeeze. Yeah, I don't think I've ever used Stotch RSI, but I've checked out regular RSI, and yeah, I mean, I know it has its uses, but just seems like I saw this had I saw TradingView when wanted to bring up RSI just to I even forget why. I looked at it like Friday. I was looking for RSI just to compare something. I don't even remember what it was. And when I looked at it, it says updated. So I'm like, well, what's updated on it? So I installed it, and I saw this, bring up the settings, and I saw Bollinger Bands down here in the moving average kind type. And I'm like, well, that's interesting. So I set the moving average, 20 Bollinger Bands, and decided to see what I get out of it. And it started looking really, really interesting to me. The fact that I spent about like 3 or 4 hours on it, just looking at the charts and looking at how it done, and I even did a full day's replay on TradingView here on I think it was the Nasdaq, watching how it played out. NASDAQ seems like it wants to try and continue heading up here. UltraBond the pullback. Russell bonds and ES. So pulling back now. So I was wrong about wanting to head up. Harsh, harsh short signal there. Let's see. Let's take a look at it. Did break below the SMA on the RSI, as it did here. I'm not so sure it's going to continue down though. That was a big move down. 15-point candle. So let's see if I. Yep, it's gonna bite me for ignoring that signal. Oh, it did pull back rather quickly. I should have went in for a quick 5 points. And honestly, I've really been evaluating that as well. Almost every signal that a super trend gives me goes for a few ticks or a few points, whichever thing. Now some pull back like this. This one here obviously worked, but it pulled back 11 points. So I'm not sure. That's where I'm not sure really like this one. Even this one gave me 2 points or 3 points. So it's like almost. This is one that would have failed, but I don't know. Almost every signal does work to a point. So much information to quickly process. I need to have a computer installed in my brain. Probably cheaper to get an algorithm, but Now the one thing about watching this RSI, I haven't played with the alerts yet on TradingView for it. I'm not even sure how I want to set alerts for it. So that means I do got to constantly be looking at the charts. Got a buy signal on copper, downtrending bands. And we see here, this is interesting. You have this buy signal with downtrending. This was probably going to be oops, again, I keep blowing up the NASDAQ. So watch, I'm not going to take this trade. But this buy signal here is right up against that third band. I'm sorry, not the third band. That Bollinger Band on the RSI. So there's a good chance this is pulling back. Plus it's hit, you actually have like 4 different 6 reasons why this might turn around. You have the 200 EMA, the 50 period EMA all there as well. So let's watch. Let's watch this and see if this would have been a good pullback play. This candle closed at 437.30. So let's see what it pulls, if it pulls back significantly. It's pulled back 1 tick so far. That's went away. So far, no. So far, it looks like it wants to ride up. If you look at the RSI, you see it kind of when it goes green, it's hugging that band. So this might not have been a reversal, and this one I would have been wrong on, possibly. Right now it's up 3 ticks from on this candle. Which is also why I say you wait for the first red candle to confirm. Continue to watch that as we continue to watch these others. ES. Okay, so copper continued to go up, so that was not a reversal. That's why I was saying wait for that first red candle before you would get in. This is actually would have been a great signal to follow. I just, we had it slightly downtrending everything. I didn't think it was going to be. But, I mean, when I say great, it's gone up 8 ticks so far. See if it continues heading up. See, gold is continuing to kind of grind up as well. While we have a slow moment, I'll tell you quickly about Twitter. First of all, Mighty Ox Trading now has its own Twitter at Mighty Ox Trading. I'll be posting daily recaps each day. Like, here I posted, finished up so much, and talked about the trades I took. But also today on Twitter, I found this that y'all might be interested in. This person at eMiniOS2 is running a contest on his Twitter for a free Earn a Trade Gauntlet Mini giveaway. All you gotta do to enter is follow Earn a Trade on Twitter and retweet his tweet about the giveaway. I don't know when the giveaway ends, and it will be announced Wednesday, January 12th. So you have 2 days to get in if you're interested in this. So far, it only has 10 retweets. So that means there's only 10 entries so far. So if you're interested in that, his Twitter, here I'll even put it in the chat. Copy. And while you're there, follow me as well. But I'm not affiliated with that guy at all. I don't know who he is. I just happened to come across it. And I thought maybe you guys would be interested in it as well. It's a 100K evaluation. I assume just the first month is free. I assume. But there you go. If you're interested. Meanwhile, back in Gotham City. Cold. Short signal. Spreading out. Pulling back a bit. Still an uptrend. Want to see it pull back. Want to see this flatten out. NASDAQ trying to creep above its SMA line, which has almost flattened out. It's got about 6 points before it'll send us a long signal. And you can see we're squeezing. You know, even on the RSI, we're squeezing. Buy signal natural gas. So let's see. Copper off of the signal ended up only going 8 ticks. Now it might bounce and go more. But did the RSI tell us where it was going to reverse? Nah, it really didn't. Never broke that band. I mean, here's the pullback. You could have took a guess, but even so, it's only 5 ticks. I mean, $62. I shouldn't say only, but probably not worth the risk if this is just a pullback candle before it was going further. We're sideways here on NQ. It's hanging below the SMA. Gold came down and then went sideways. crude wanting attention. Pull back through the SMA. There's the short signal on crude. Almost looks like it wants to come down and just ride down that, turn the bands and ride it down. I still have a micro crude here somewhere. Crude. There. Let's do a micro crude. Let's do 2. I'm not sure about this. So we're in on 2 contracts on micro crude. Not going to be a game changer. Not even really within my parameters. But that's what we're going to do. Let me make sure I'm even on the right account. Yeah, I'm on the gauntlet account. Yay. Everybody got so quiet. There we go. Now we're up a tick. Up a tick, down a tick. Up a tick, down a tick. Everything okay there on your UProfit account there, Linux? Now we're up 3 ticks. Copper sent a short signal now as well. Already gone, wow, 6 ticks. That was quick. Am I blocking my signals? I don't remember seeing that. Oh yeah, I am. Duh. It's like, why didn't I see that signal? Oh, that's why. Ah. MBT. Oh, micro Bitcoin. Or, yeah, is that micro Bitcoin? TN? What's TN? Still up 2 ticks. Oh, okay. Oh. Hmm. That looks pretty thin. TN looks kind of boring. Oh, there's a nice move on it, though. Ah, okay. That makes sense. I saw today that they're coming out with a new Treasury future, March, the 20-year bond. But its tick value will be also 31.25. We're now up 6 ticks on this crude trade. Good question. Big move down here on Nasdaq, or well, big, big, kind of big. Nasdaq has moved down about 25 points since the short signal, and since this short signal, we've seen it go down almost 50. Honestly, it's been going down most of the evenings. Well, pull back. Oh, copper's grinding down. I didn't check to see what kind of economic news we have coming out tomorrow, if anything. Let me see if I can find that. Boop, boop. I forget. Wow. Yeah, wrong window. Big pullback here on crude. So let's see here. Looking at the economic calendar. No, nothing coming out tomorrow in the early morning. Bond auctions later in the day. But Wednesday, we have inflation rates coming out. Oh, wait, never mind. That's Brazil. Gotta look at the right country here. Wednesday, nothing major either. I'm sorry, that was Tuesday. Why do they still have Monday on here? I'm sorry. Anyway, nothing big tomorrow. Let's try this again. But yes, Wednesday inflation rate comes out 8:30 Eastern. That's with the market so worried about inflation. That could be something that sends the market a while once again. Thursday, of course, we have jobless claims. That's every week. And Friday, we have a bunch. We have retail sales reports coming out. Import export prices and manufacturing production. So, some interesting stuff this week. Still in this trade for 5 ticks. This is where I wish I would have taken just a regular contract. Because I would have just taken the $50 here. Called it a winner. There's a nice move. We're now up 8 ticks. 9. The S&P kind of sideways. NQ's just curling down. Or grinding down, I guess I should say. Hold on a minute. I'm back. Still up on this trade. UltraBond. One that's hidden by my chart. Sideways. the 9 o'clock hour on the East Coast. Thank you everyone for joining me this evening. Those of you on YouTube, if you haven't already hit the like button, I would appreciate if you did. Yep. My hater's back. Someone hit the dislike button. Thank you. This crude trade's kind of dragging on. You can see it's been kind of sideways. Everything's kind of sideways right now. Gold sending us a long signal. And just rejected. Down hard. Oh, big move down there on crude. Got our my stop loss to break even. We're up 10 ticks. Or we were. Let's look at our chart. See, we're kind of squeezing. Gold back to giving us a buy signal? Yes, it is. Get micro gold ready in case we need it. Oh, crude's pulled back. Back up to only 6 ticks. Honestly, if this was a regular contract where I was up $60 instead of 12, I'll probably cut it here for the profit. And Q sending us a buy signal. Still downtrending SMA line, downtrending bands. And we actually see that this is our part of our experiment. We see that the RSI line is slightly above the Bollinger Band, so I would expect a pullback. Yes, also sending us a buy signal. Getting all the charts queued up here. I can find them when I'm ready. MQ. So, still trying to make its way up. Has already gone 3 points off that buy signal. I think Crude might end up coming up and stopping us out at break even. Yes, Crude just gave us an opposite signal. So I was wrong on the indices here. This was a good buy signal to follow. I gotta be careful of that now. I don't want to end up costing myself trades because I'm overanalyzing that RSI. There's gold and copper both sending me a buy signal. I like the the gold better than the copper. We're stopped on copper. I'm sorry, on crude. We're filled here on micro gold. So we stopped out break even on crude. Now we're in on a gold trade. So I should have just taken this on NASDAQ. You can see we're up now. We already went up more than 15 points. Okay, we only filled one contract, one micro on that. I put in an order for 6. We only filled on 1. So let's see if we get filled on the others. So this was a miss. I mean, I'm not sure I would have taken. Well, it was already above the SMA. It wasn't really. I mean, the SMA was kind of flat. It wasn't the best setup that I looked for. It just ended up working. Okay, now we're filled all 6 contracts on the micro gold. UltraBond. Copper also would have been a good signal. Gold trying to pull back, though the micro didn't really pull back. Just kind of, oh, now it did. Copper ended up being the better signal here over gold so far. Copper going up 9 ticks so far off of that signal, all of which were outside of that band, so that's interesting. Got to be careful with squeezes. It looks like with these bands, don't want to overanalyze if something breaks out of them after a tight squeeze. Back to break even on our gold trade. Big move up there on the NQ. 8 points in this candle. Copper, big move up as well. Copper's just laughing at me at this point. Copper's going up 18 ticks, which is more than my normal 16 tick profit target, so that would have been excellent. Gold's still lagging right at break even. So I take the one that didn't work. Didn't take the two that did. UltraBond coming back up. Oh, okay. Now we have some movement. Guess gold didn't like me talking about it. We're up 2 ticks. 3 ticks. See if we get. See if it'll follow copper. Pull back a bit here on NQ and on copper. pull back to break even here on our gold trade. Copper trying to head back up now after that little bit of a reversal. Nasdaq doing the same. Will gold follow suit? Let's hope so. Slow, slow, slow. Everything's sideways right now. Nothing exciting at all. There's a bit of a move back up on gold. Back up 3 ticks. It's a nice little move. Pull back. I think gold's just going back into a squeeze here. Sideways. And Q sideways. This is where I struggle to find anything to talk about. And I hate that there's dead air. Moving back between 2 and 3 ticks. Up, down, up, down. Still 2 ticks in profit. We're excited. UltraBond sideways, but giving us multiple signals that don't work. There's a move up. 4 ticks into profit. There we go. That's the furthest we've been in profit so far. We're at 5 ticks. It's only taken about 3 hours. No, I'm kidding. Our entry was 15 minutes ago. Meanwhile, NQ, since his buy signal, gone up 40 points. Copper, since his buy signal, has gone up 25 ticks. Got some momentum on gold now. Up 6 ticks. Dum, boom, boom, boom. So we're up Uh, 8 ticks now. But what I'm going to do is I'm moving this profit target down. I don't think we're going to see 24 ticks. And I shouldn't have used that one at this time of night. Let's move it to, let's see, 10 ticks? Do I like 10 ticks? I like 10 ticks. That'll cash out 4, and that'll let two others run if it gets there. That'll guarantee us $40 in profit. What did Crude do after it stopped me out? It continued to go, and I could have gotten in on that buy signal that came opposite of that move we were in. And it's gone. It went 9 ticks so far. Not nothing exciting. Okay, we just hit our profit target of 10 ticks, and we still have 2 in the game. I'm gonna move this up to break even. So that way we're guaranteed about $40 in the profit minus commission. And we have our first win of the night. Hey, do you hear cha-ching sound when I did? I never really tested that. Ooh, pulling back here on the indices to the SMA. Now it's interesting, gold here. Let's pull this up. Gold's been, it's NASDAQ. Darn it, I keep blowing up the wrong charts. Gold this time, yay. See, we are above that 30 SMA line. I'm sorry, RSI line. 70 RSI line. Try that, Brian. Yeah, good job. Anyway, so that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to see the pullback here, but we are seeing a pullback so far. So it was also a good reason to get out where I did on the majority there. Now let's see, something can ride this line for a while. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to pull back just because it's there. It never broke the Bollinger Band. So now what I have found though is if it hits this line and it breaks the SMA line on the RSI, then that's a good indication that you might want to get out. But we'll watch and we'll wait in anticipation. Anticipation. Ugh. Anticipation. Crude, giving us a short signal, I'm sure. Oh no, but I say gave us a really rapid fire. Oh, now see, now that would have been nice to see. Look at this crude here. Came down hard. Actually, not hard. It's 4 ticks. So we're squeezing here, and it did break on that 2030 candle, which is here to our 2130 Eastern. It was a short candle here, one up, and then now 7 ticks. So that right here, this candle will be the one to get in on, or I mean, wait for this confirmation of green and then get in on this. See if it continues on beyond this. Because it looks like this ended up just being a pullback of this move here. Looks like I might want to continue to head up. So keep an eye on that. Just to see if we were right. Remember, we don't need to take every trade, but we can learn from every mistrade or every trade we don't take. Would have still been a good trade to take? Did we take and miss? If we did, don't get upset by a mistrade. Just learn from it. Why did you miss it? Why didn't you take it? And can you see that pattern again in the future and decide to take it? And Q is giving us a short. Is it giving us a short? Well, still locked in on gold. Yeah, NQ is giving us a short. We did break through that yellow line, and we're riding down. What do you think? Should we take it? Oh, it's pulling back now. Yes, you just see a quick flash of my Christmas wallpaper. I haven't changed it. I need to do that. Okay, we're in on NQ. 12-point stop. Looking for 24 points. I might change that. Might be a little bit too much for the recent price action. So we're actually in 2 trades at once. It's something I don't often do, but want to get better at. Theoretically, if you're setting your trade management right, and something you're happy with, you should be able to enter a trade and just let it run and then look for your next trade. Don't micromanage the entire trade. Now, I do micromanage the trades because A, that provides entertainment value, and B, I'm just like that. We got some movement down here now. We're down 3 points so far on this NQ trade, or MNQ trade. Let's try to change this around so I can also watch that. Not enough screen space. Move this here. Still in gold. We're still up $12 there. We see NQ pulling back here. We're up $28. Now this 18. Gold sending us an opposite signal. Sending us a short signal. Probably a good time to exit. We're gonna close out that other $8 on gold. Possibly $6 after slippage. And finish that off. Now we're just in M and Q. So we did profit. Let's see here. We made $45 on that gold trade. Right now we're up 24 on. Oh, now we're pulled back. We're trying to pull back to break even here. I still like this as a short. You have the flattening of this SMA line. Looks like it might be just slightly downtrending. So we might consolidate here. Go sideways. The volume's dropped off a little bit. The better entry on this trade. We blow up the NQ chart. This time I mean to blow up the NQ chart. If we were watching this, see how, remember the yellow line was above the 70 line. So that was a good indication right there we're going to pull back. And the purple line crossed it on this candle. No, this candle here. So this entry or this entry would be much better to get in on. We would have got in 12 points earlier than we got in. That's why I really think this has potential once I learn it. Or actively, get practice trading it, I guess I should say. So now I'm going to move our stop. Stop is 12 points, 12 and a half points from my entry, but I'm going to move it just above this candle here. Just now about an 8-point stop, about more like 9. It's just slightly above that SMA line. UltraBond. Ignore that for now. Now we're seeing some movement downward. We're down about 7 ticks. A little bit of a difference here between M and Q and NQ. M and Q is still down at 613, whereas NQ is going back up to 615. So NQ seems stuck. Kind of worrisome. Hasn't moved. Watching the trading view chart for for NQ, we're at 615. There we go. Not sure how that happened, but yeah, new candle opened and it opened different from the closing of the last candle, which is okay. We're up 4 ticks. I'm sorry, points. Consolidation. SMA line is definitely downtrending now. Pulling back again. Copper sending a buy signal. You can see the tight squeeze there. NQ almost back to my entry point. Back to break even. See if it bounces off the SMA. So we're hoping for here is a bounce off the SMA and back down. And I've now made it a 5-point stop, which is still above the SMA line. And we are now in the red. We're going to get stopped out. Okay, there's our stop. We got stopped out. Buy signal now and then Q. All the indices. Not taking it though. Which is kind of weird. Now, if I don't have confidence to take the buy signal, why did I just move my stop thinking I should just think it's going to reverse? So it's kind of thinking wrong. So let's see if it reverses and back into profit, or if it continues to go up. We are out of all trades right now. We're flat. And let's see if we're still in profit. We're in profit by $5. So we're really not in profit because there's more commissions than that. Now, does the RSI tell us anything? Let's look. We see it crossed over the downtrending SMA line. And it looks like it's trying to bounce back down. Didn't really tell us much. Starting to approach the 10 o'clock hour on the East Coast. Volume probably going to continue to come down, although we see Nasdaq though reversing here. Has come back by 3. So we'll see if moving my stop was a mistake. It's always possible. Crude off that 5 signal would have worked for 10 ticks so far. This last copper signal did not work. Rejected. Coming back down. That's why we are uh, back under the buy price on that MNQ. Or we were. Okay. You see NQ trying to push up. Bands are straightening horizontal. The SMA is horizontal. Things have gotten really, really slow. Which is probably normal for a Monday night. I don't remember, did I stream last Monday? I don't think, yeah, I did. There's a buy signal on Q. Going a different direction on this one, I think. Maybe a mistake. There's the signal again. Nice. Okay. I'm prepared to go in the regular size 1 NQ contract. I'm looking for 5 points. I'm waiting for this to pull back first. Go in there. Gonna try this. Stop is actually at 7. I'm gonna move it slightly up. It's a $100 stop. Yeah, it's gonna stop me out. Maybe. We're gonna do this consolidation thing again. Yep, pull back again. And it's coming down to stop me out. Man. Yep, stop me out, $100 loss. Aw, man, stop me out and then goes. Ah, man, that's the 5 points I was looking for too. Oh, I didn't even put the chart on there. Well, it's probably good. Maybe it's time to end this whole... Excuse me, I'm frustrated. Ignore my frustration. Gold sending us a buy signal. Downtrending SMA line telling us no on that. NQ pulls back to its SMA line. See if it bounces. Let's look at this setup on crude. See it's here at the top of the line, at the top of the RSI indicator. The yellow line is just about there. We're slightly underneath it now. It's continuing to trend up. If we see it kind of start moving down, we're right below the yellow line. Might be a good way to get in for a quick scalp. Well, that might have been it. Move back up. Gold sending us a signal. Still trying to convince me it's a buy. Go with 5 micro crude if we jump in this trade. It did pull back now. We'll watch it. I'm not going to enter it. We'll watch it to see if I was right. We'll see. Gold buy signal stuck there. Let's see if it stays above the SMA. No, I was wrong totally on that NASDAQ. I mean, it did give me 5 points. But it would have been perfect entry and perfect profit target hit. Now it's pulled back. Coming up on about 10 after 10. Probably streamed to about 10:30. And remember, back here tomorrow morning, 7:30 Eastern Time. Be pretty boring to be on stream and not take trades. I mean, let's look at the last signals from the NQ. This one here went about 50 points. This one, not quite as many, but boop, 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 boop. 14. So $280, $1,000. This one would have ended up being wackily good. This one would have went. I mean, no one really tunes into me for streaming to just watch me not take trades. But you can see here, even if I ignore everything else and just go by the indicators, tonight, you know, doing this is probably gonna frustrate me. So this is since 1 hour. Oops, I did that the wrong direction. So this is from 1 hour after open. And I got it. Maybe I need to, this is frustrating me. This signal, win. This signal, win. And these are all more than 20 points. Go away. This signal, win. This one, I would not have taken. That would have been, although, you know, even that, 610 to 617, but I wouldn't have taken it. But still, so far, what? So it's what? 3 wins? Win, 20 points. Win, so 5 in a row. And depending on what my profit target was, you know, this one 13 points. So if I was looking for only 10 points, that would have been 6 winners in a row, 15 points, 5 winners, and now these 2 losses. Now it's sending me another short signal. Now things have started squeezing more in the last 20 minutes. But if I just, and this is really frustrating me now. So if I just taken all these signals just blindly, basically, I would have had 5 wins. Even if I would have taken this one and lost, I would have 5 out of 6 wins. And not like small 5 point wins. 33, 25, 40, 22, 47. Now, obviously, I wouldn't got all the top or whatever, but if I would have just set a 20-point profit target on each one, I would have be up 100 points. Now I'm mad at myself. Now I'm really mad at myself. And watch. Now I didn't take this one because I'm here lamenting about what I didn't take. And watch, this one's going to go like 1,000 points. Well, actually, if it goes down 1,000 points, that's going to be like a big market crash, and that would really be bad. I guess the point is, Ace, if you're still here. Yeah, I started doing these evening streams because there's a lot of people that can't trade throwing the market open. They have day jobs that don't allow them to be on a computer or a phone to try to trade. So my point to do these streams at this time of day is to try and show that there is money that can be made to start building yourself up as a trader, even if you're not working 9 to 5. Even if you're working 9 to 5. That's right. I guess you're right. I forgot about the circuit that they do have. That'll be that'll be something else. It got close today. Well, not close, but I mean, it went down 500 points at one point in time today. From way up here to way down here was over 500 points. And then it went back up 500 points. Yeah. Look at this. Easier to see in the 5-minute chart. We hit a high last night, before the European session of 15,664, and it dropped down to 15,152. So that's 64 to one, about 150. I mean 515-point drop, and then from 152 all the way back up to about 625. Okay, but did you have fun with the dishes? If you heard, yeah, but if you heard me, yeah, from 650 down to 150, 150 back up to 620. So there was a lot of money to be made on the Nasdaq today. Not that I made any of it, but there was a lot of money to be made. I mean, a lot of money on the ES, for that matter. ES probably did the same thing. I didn't look at the ES, but the ES went from. Speaking of ES, it's sending me a signal. ES's high today was. Let's see here. ES's high today was 46.81, and it went all the way down to 45.73. So 108-point range. And then it went all the way back up to 46.65. So it rebounded back up by about 94 points. Yeah. Short right at the open. From the open, right at the open, it opened about 46.33, and then it dropped. down to 45.72, so I dropped another 60 points from the open to its low. And the low hit about 10:45, and then it's been all afternoon, just all late morning, early afternoon, going back up. But anyway, yeah, I mean like I said, that's why I do try to do a couple night sessions, because there are people that just can't trade during the day. You know, they work 7 to 3 or 9 to 5. They can't be on a computer to check their thing. So this gold trade would have worked. So I try to do a night session to show that there are opportunities, in the evening. I mean, I think the best opportunities are, I shouldn't say best, but I think, things seem to trend easier in the overnight sessions. That would be my preferred time to trade, overnight into the open. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you can't. If you start worrying about trades you miss, then you end up trying to be glued to the computer and you start missing out on life anyway. But one of my goals when I started the stream is to show people that they can learn to trade and they can start trading anytime, day or night. That yeah, there's obviously times that things are slower, but there's opportunities and they can start even if their job doesn't allow them to trade during the day, or what their hours just don't work for the normal you know regular trading hours. It's one of the things when people say, well, why you do futures instead of stocks, or why should I? Well, because you can trade 22 hours a day. You just got to adjust. Like right now, I mean, obviously I watch the UltraBond during the day, but right now the UltraBond's junk, and I ignore it. I totally ignore the UltraBond in the evening. Same with natural gas. I ignore a natural gas in the evening. The Russell's gotten better, but like during the Christmas season, Russell hardly had any volume in the evening, and I ignored that. But for now, we are range bound on the Nasdaq. That's why all these signals are failing. very small candles for the NQ at this point. But gold's going nicely. Even gold, let's see. Go back here to hour after open. This would have given us, oops, stop moving. That would have given us over 2 points. That would have given us 1.5. This would have given us over 2 points. This one would have been iffy, I can tell already. One only would have given us eight ticks. So that one probably would have been a stop out. Or break even. This one would have given us... Well, it depends. With a 1 point stop, we would have never got out, and it would have went to 2 points. So, see what I'm saying? There's money to be made this time of night. I just am a lousy trader right now and not taking advantage of it. Or I'm overthinking. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong exactly. But one of these days I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna make millions. Remember, folks, if you feel like it, please upvote me or thumb up me or whatever. Hit the like button. Somebody hates me and comes in to downvote every one of my streams. They've done it for the last week now. Not sure why. But if it makes them happy, that's fine. This copper tray would have worked after a squeeze though. So one of the issues is after a squeeze like this, where you have one signal, two signals, it didn't work. How do you know eventually that this one's the one that's gonna work? So you do miss them. Now this was a nice one right here. That would have been a winner as well. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. This one would not have worked. More than 8 ticks. This one would have. Boom. That one would just miss my profit target. Did you get those dishes finished, Ace? I hate dishes. Dishes and laundry. Kappa. Pulling back. Oops. Not much going on. Not much to look at. I'll let you know if anything exciting happens, but I'm probably going to wrap up here in the next few minutes if nothing exciting happens. And then come back tomorrow morning and do it all again. Exactly. Hey, I'm still waiting for Rosie the Robot from the Jetsons. Crude with a short signal. Trying to come down here. Copper with a short signal. Uptrending SMA. Squeezing bands. Nasdaq surfing on its SMA. We're surfing USA. Let's check in on agriculture. Hmm. Interesting move up here on soybeans. I'm sorry, soybean oil. It's actually moved up 35 ticks. That's impressive, actually. $6 a tick, if I remember right. That's a $180 move up. Bitcoin still hanging around 42,000. UltraBond. Basically, in the evenings, it seems like we see some volatility between 7 and say 9:30 or so, as some of the Asian markets come online, and then things at this point start getting slow. Then I notice a little bit after midnight, things start going a little wild and wacky. And then, of course, once Europe opens, but like at 11 or 12:30 every night. Let's look back on copper here. Something causes copper to explode. Let's see. It's not every night. Oh yeah. I mean, here you see copper a little after 11, 12, and all of a sudden right here, 12:30, it all of a sudden booms. You see these big volume candles. All of a sudden, it slows down again into Europe. Oh, Europe opens. And I see NQ and others do something similar around that same time. Gold pulling back below its SMA. There's a short signal on gold, not taking that there. NQ sending us signals. NQ looks like it's trying to come down again. Trying being the optimum word. See what kind of range bound. Let's get out the old Ah, wrong chart. Get out the old lines. See, we hit the bottom here of this range. And that top, sort of my old faded trade there. So that's our range right now. Oh, and it has been since about an hour ago when it finished coming down through this move. That's about a, I mean, what's 9 to 32, 20, 22 point range, 23 point range, 23 point range. So we want to see it get below 609 or above 632 to try and really get something out of it. Excuse me. Probably gonna wrap up in 5 minutes, unless something pops up. UltraBond. Right now we're sitting right up about the middle of that range I drew out on NQ. NQ, ES, popping back up, popping fresh dough. Okay, I don't see anything exciting or fun or remotely entertaining at this point. So I believe we're going to call it a night. I do want to thank everyone for joining me tonight. We attempted trade. Did end the night down $100. I believe that's what it was. Let me look at that, make sure it's right. Yep, exactly $100. So we'll try to get that back tomorrow morning. I'll be back here at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time, 6:30 my time, 4:30 Pacific. And we will try and have an excellent day tomorrow and make up that $100. Have a great night, everyone. See you in, I don't know, like what, 10 hours? Less than 10 hours. Have a good night. Bye.